Please, please help me. What day is it? How long has it been?
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Serial,
What's up, guys? It's Reed.
and today we're going to be breaking down episode 5 of Wandavision. We got a longer episode this week. Again, if you guys aren't subscribed and you want the latest news on MCU shows, we're going to be breaking down all the upcoming shows as well as the rest of Wandavision. Please subscribe down below. We appreciate you. And spoiler warning, if you haven't watched the episode today, brand new episode just dropped. Please go watch that before you watch this because we will be talking about some huge things that happen. So let's get into this breakdown and what happened this week.
So we see the episode open up, and there's another new sort of theme. I guess this is more the Full House 90s kind of vibe, I would say. We see Wanda and Vision trying to manage the terrible twins, the crying. They can't calm down the children in any way, it seems. Agnes, the next door neighbor, who seems to be this token convenient neighbor for them, for the show, I guess, shows up to help them calm down the children. While they're talking, Vision says something to Agnes, and Agnes is sort of like triggered and sort of falls out of focus. She cuts to Wanda and says, "Do you want to take it from the top?" This raises a huge red flag for Vision because Vision is just like, this is completely abnormal behavior. This doesn't make sense. So he immediately confronts Wanda, and Wanda is like seeing that Vision again is like seeing something is wrong, and she's just really trying to hide it from him. And it's really sickening to see what she's doing to Vision, keeping him imprisoned in this world. Anyways, we see the children have disappeared from the cribs and they appear on the stairwell, and they have now aged to, I want to say, 5 years old from being almost newborns. This is really interesting because this shows Wanda's powers going into effect and showing how powerful she can be and how powerful this new idea of having these children will be.
Yeah, Reed, the time progression has been pretty crazy, especially throughout all these episodes, and Agnes was not phased at all. And then we continue kind of with Vision's path. The past couple of episodes, I mean, he is noticing more and more something is not right and that something is going on. And at first, he wasn't aware of kind of like the jump cuts that Wanda was making and the things around him. He seemed kind of oblivious to, but now, I mean, he is almost fully aware something is going on. He goes into the office, which what turns out to be on a weekend day nonetheless, because Wanda's trying to distract him, and he gets the new computers in the office that happen to has an email from Sword on it, which is probably from Darcy, kind of how Wu and Darcy try to reach Wanda. They're now trying to reach Vision, and we see that Norm, one of the co-workers, gets kind of awoken by Vision, and he puts his hands on his head and he snaps out of the suppressed kind of power Wanda was using over him and everyone in the area. And I mean, he is just, you can see the anxiety, the panic, the fear. He's talking about, his family outside of Westview, and you can see the shocked look on Vision's face, and he realizes now 100% something is going on. Wanda is doing something to these people, and it's not the Wanda that he knows, let alone he's struggling to really know who he is himself. And it was also crazy to see him put Norm back under, like the suppressed vibe. But I mean, now Vision fully knows what's going on, and I'm sure he's going to confront Wanda very soon.
Next, we cut to where the sword setup is at. We see that Monica has reacclimated herself. She's back in the real world. She's being analyzed at first when we see her. They're doing x-rays, MRIs, that kind of thing, blood tests. But they're noticing that everything's sort of coming up blank for her scans and tests. And this prompts Monica, Wu, and Darcy to start to investigate the sort of things that are going on, specifically with the certain items that enter the world and exit. We see that for some reason, the clothes that Monica was wearing are 97% Kevlar, even though they appear to be normal thin clothes. They're almost completely bulletproof. Some really weird things going on in this world, in this reality that Wanda has created for herself. After the analysis, they decide to send in a drone from the 1980s. Monica is manning it. They are able to locate where Wanda is. We see that Wanda's outside with the children. She's not exactly happy to see the drone. After that, we hear the director of Sword then say to strike and shoot a missile of sorts from the drone at Wanda. This then aggravates Wanda, and we get the big confrontation at the force field outside of Westview.
All right, so after the drone strike, the sword facility kind of goes under like a breach protocol, an alarm goes off, and everyone swarms outside to gather around kind of like the hex that Darcy has named it, that Wu kind of funnily shakes his head saying is not catching on, but seems to be catching on. And we see Wanda drag out the drone, and she's now approaching the sword agents and Director Hayward, and obviously she is very pissed off. You know, they just try to drone strike her, and her two kids are right next to her. And Monica tries to kind of be the peacekeeper and negotiator and kind of keep it peaceful. I mean, she knows Wanda's an Avenger, and Wanda knows, you know, these are just human agents. She just wants to be left alone. The sword agents just want an answer. Things get extremely tense. And then we see Wanda kind of use her powers to kind of make everyone take the guns that they're aiming all at her and aim them at Director Hayward. And then we see him, you know, get super flustered and tell everyone around him to stand down as she walks back in. And we just get, you know, a more of a villain side of her, but at the same time, she's protecting her family and, you know, what she has intact, she wants to keep control of. But we knew with everything going on, there was going to be some confrontation with Wanda and Vision. I mean, Vision is completely feeling in the dark. Wanda is still denying. And then we see Vision kind of just erupt. You know, he's out of his element. He doesn't even know who he is. And we haven't seen this side of Vision on screen before. He's usually in the know, super intelligent, kind of calm and collected. But now, like, he's aggressive. He's using his powers. And he's kind of demanding answers from Wanda. And then we see Wanda kind of get more emotional than we've seen her. And she kind of breaks down and starts to cry just a little bit and is saying, like, you know, like wanting him to believe her that she isn't fully in control of everything that everyone is doing, and she's not holding everyone hostage. She's just more so trying to protect the family and keep them safe, and that this isn't solely her. So we're at like a crossroads of wanting more information for Vision's sake, but feeling bad for Wanda and not wanting to mislabel. Kind of, is she the villain? Is she just trapped inside this herself? Is it her subconsciously? Her powers just too strong she doesn't realize, which I'm sure we'll find out soon. But amongst this argument towards the end, we hear a perfectly timed knock on the door. And again, Vision, he thinks it's just another one of her ploys to distract and disrupt what's going on from answers. And that knock on the door turned out to be something that opened up, I mean, a whole new thing for the MCU as we know it.
So not only did Wanda's brother return Quicksilver, but the actor from the X-Men movies, Evan Peters, returned as Quicksilver. Hilariously, Darcy does mention that he was recasted, which I thought was a hilarious nod to the situation. But this seriously opens so many doors for what the MCU will be moving forward. He is now, this means that anyone from any movie that is connected to the comic book in any way, I would say, has the ability to return. So this means we could have Magneto coming back, Professor X coming back, Wolverine coming back. Just so many things and so much excitement to be had for this moment. And it just being such a small thing of just the brother knocking on the door and saying hi.
Yeah, Reed, it's going to be extremely interesting to see what they do with this going forward. You know, going forward next week, I can't wait for the next episode. Obviously, the confrontation with Wanda and Vision is going to continue. He wants answers, And obviously, it's not clear that she fully has them. Is the brother sticking around? I honestly don't know what to expect, but in the promo, I mean, we see kind of like a Halloween vibe going on. So there's definitely going to be some like kind of terror and kind of like scare in the air. So I'm excited.
It does appear that the next episode is going to be the Halloween episode, which we've been waiting for. So that'll be exciting to see just the outfits, essentially. I wonder if we'll get a little throwback Quicksilver costume. I feel like that would be really cool. It'll be really exciting to see where the show goes from here.
Yeah, really excited for next week. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. We look forward to you guys sticking around. Like I said, please drop a sub and a nice comment to help other people see this video. We're big MCU Marvel fans, and we look forward to doing another episode next week. Thank you guys for the support. Have a great day.